scores a goal for Leeds United! Oh! Hernandez! Swansea 0, Leeds United 1!
Good evening, welcome to Matchday Live here at Elland Road. Leeds United taking on Swansea City, 7:45 kick-off this evening. Wherever you are joining us from around the world, I can almost guarantee it's warmer than it is here in Beeston. Absolutely freezing today. A cold Wednesday evening under the lights here at Elland Road for what is sure to be a fantastic game. Leeds United going for 6 wins on the bounce here at the Fortress Elland Road, where it's been going pretty good. We want to hear from you tonight, wherever you are. Please do get in touch with us, whether it's on WhatsApp, email, social media. Let us know where you are in the world, who you're watching with, maybe if you have any celebrations this week. Do tell us about it. Send us in your pictures and we would love to mention you this evening. Of course, you can get today's Match Pass worldwide to watch the game. Scan the QR code on the screen to buy yours, or you can visit the Leeds United website and all the details are there as well. Now tonight Leeds look, as I say, to continue that unbeaten start at home here at Elland Road after a 1-1 draw at Rotherham, seeing if we can apply some more pressure on those teams at the top where we want to be, of course, by the end of the season here in the Sky Bet Championship. Swansea in different form really, 7 games into the season before they managed to get a win under the belt. They have picked up a little bit by then, but 1 win in the last 6. Although away from home they have picked up some results in the last 4 games or so. So maybe not to be underestimated tonight. But we are an expectant Elland Road, of course. A nippy Elland Road, as I mentioned. And joining me tonight, Michael Bridges is here with us, former Leeds United. You know what it's like to play. I mean, look, it's perfect, right? It's cold. It's cold out there, but it's a perfect night for football. It certainly is. The floodlights at Elland Road, nothing better. I used to love evening kick-off games, and looking out there, seeing the lads warming up, you know, it brings back so many fond memories, and we get the joy of sitting inside and keeping warm and talking about the game with the build-up. Absolutely. Don't bother messaging us about the fact we're wearing the same outfit. We are aware as soon as we walked in here this evening. We should probably have a chat before that in advance. It's probably not a bad idea. You can see the players arriving a little bit earlier today. Ethan Ampadu making his way in. In fact, the team news today, 2 changes from that away game in South Yorkshire on Friday night, that 1-1 draw, which sees first and foremost Pascal Strike back to the starting lineup. Made an appearance on Friday night, perhaps a little bit sooner than we were expecting after the surgery he underwent, and also Sam Byram makes his way into the team. Those are the 2 changes. Liam Cooper dropping out and Junior Firpo as well. Good to see them back. Couple of changes. Is that what you might have expected with the selection that Daniel Farke had? Yeah, I think when you consider Firpo has been out a long time with injuries, little niggles here and there, and hasn't got a good run in the team. You know, he's come in, he had the performance, be wrapping him in cotton wool, don't want to overdo him again because, you know, you don't want him to break down. So, like you say, Sam Byron, since he's been in this season, it's been like he's never been away. I think he's looked absolutely magnificent. And then Strauch, I didn't think that, you know, after a hernia operation, me and Emma were talking about in the last game, I didn't think we'd see him so soon. The keyhole surgery's gone fantastic, and like I say, unfortunately Liam Cooper's missed out, but when he came on, he did look very, very good. Nearly scored, didn't he, as well, Pascal, against Rotherham. It's funny because I did a post-match with him a few weeks ago. He was saying that because he has got a couple of goals, he wants to get a goal that really means something. A couple of his goals have come as a consolation. The one at Stoke, which was a great finish. He was saying he really wants to get a goal where that would have done. Could have been the moment. Maybe tonight is going to be the night. But he's a real leader in that team now, and really one of those players that I guess we look to, and alongside Joe Rodon, the partnership that they've built up is really strong.
I was just about to say, I think it's more to do with the partnership that they've built up this season. They've looked very, very strong. The balance has been tremendous, and like you say, I think if Daniel Farke's got an opportunity to put that back together, our captain, unfortunately, Liam Cooper, Mr. Reliable, I absolutely love him on and off the field. He's the one that's missed out, but we know for a fact that Pascal will do a great job.
If we're going to do anything this season in the Sky Bet Championship of note, you need that depth of squad, don't you? And we're coming into that period, start of December on Friday, and then you're really into that run into the new year, and then you're starting to look at the table once you get into 2024 and thinking, right, well, here we go.
I mean, we want to be in the Premier League, no doubt about it. There's less games come over that Christmas period. The Championship, they come thick and fast, and like you say, the squad depth is absolutely vital in this Championship. I'll always say it, Daniel Farke, the manager, he's been there and done it with Norwich City. He knows what this division is about. He knows what it takes, and I think he's looked so relaxed as the squad has since that the transfer window shut down. He knew everybody was at his disposal. I think the way the players have been performing under him, and everybody that's had the opportunity has risen to the occasion, which is very good, because we're going to need all the bodies going into December and January. Yeah,
a couple of other players of note, really. Worth mentioning, Jorginho Ruta, of course, played on Friday night. Perhaps wasn't at 100% fitness, it sort of said, and come off a little bit earlier. The amount of goals that are starting at his feet, whether it be not the final pass but maybe a couple before, I'm thinking of the one where he chipped it over the top to Somerville in the game down on the left hand side in front of the West Stand, that little pass through again to Somerville, that link up at Rotherham. It was a beautiful sort of looking the other way kind of pass. Everything good seems to be coming through him at the moment.
Leeds fans are seeing the best of this man. He came with a huge price tag, and it was in the wrong time for him in the Premier League. He was underdone. I think what we see now, you've got a player with a smile on your face. You've got a guy that is scoring goals away from home. He hasn't got one at Elland Road yet. I spoke to him midweek. He said he is desperate to get a goal at Elland Road. He wants that as his Christmas gift, just so he can break the ice. But what he has been doing, it's his performances alongside Piru, who's come in. I think the balance and the partnership that they have got has been brilliant. The goal for Somerville the other night, who played the part? Rute. So we are judged as strikers. I said this to him the other day. We are judged on goals and assists, and the goals are coming away from home. He wants them at home, but his assists in the way he's been involved has been magnificent.
Yeah, it's fantastic to watch it. It's so exciting here at Elland Road in particular at the moment. The buzz around the place and the excitement of matches and the football that we're seeing. It really feels like there's something happening. You get those seasons, don't you, where you think, oh, something's going on here.
Yeah, and that's what you get from Elland Road, and these nights especially, because the floodlights are on, the fans are up for it. I know it's freezing out there, but once the voices get going, everybody's standing there together and they're singing the songs. There's nothing better, and as players, we rise to that. We feel the impact from that, and I think you get that with this group of players. I'm very confident when we play at home. They're enjoying the football under Daniel Farke, and they are absolutely loving this fortress that we are creating.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place to be playing football and watching football at the moment. Of course, we'll bring you all the action. 7:45 kick-off tonight. Ahead of kick-off, there will be a minute's applause to remember the life of Terry Venables, who so sadly passed away. The news that broke at the weekend at the age of 80. El Tel, former manager here at Leeds United, of course, back at Elland Road in 2002, former England manager. We all remember Euro 96. And has been fondly remembered by all those who knew him. There will be a minute's applause, and an interesting time for you, Michael, because obviously you were with Leeds at that time, but injured at the time, but still got very fond memories of someone who everyone seems to have spoken about this week as not just being a great tactician, but a really good man manager as well.
Yeah, what Terry had, he had an aura about him. We knew when he was in the building, you knew what he was all about. He was very charismatic, and that's what I loved about him. Straight away, he had instant respect, and you were kind of glued to the man, and you were like, wow, when you look at somebody with just this presence, and that's what I loved about him. We never like I say, I never got the most out of Terry from me personally, because I was coming through injuries, but what he always did, he always gave time, and he took us to one side, and he would do little individual one-on-one sessions and show me how to get better, and you start using my hands to field defenders and roll them, and that's what I always remember. He didn't, even though I wasn't part of his team and his squad as such, it was just nice that he still had that time and care to try and get us back to what I'd done after the injuries that he knew I'd gone through. And unfortunately, I think his time at Leeds United when we were there, it was also on the outer. We'd already gone through. David Levy had left, Peter Reid had left, Terry came in, and we met him in Australia from when he'd left the national team. We were there on pre-season tour, and unfortunately it just didn't happen for the man. But what a great man, great memories, and we wish him and his family all the best. He's rest in peace, because he was an absolute legend of the game.
Yeah, and as clubs and football fans have been across the country, we will be remembering and applauding the life of Terry Venables here before the match tonight. Another thing that will be happening as well during the 11th minute of the game, an image of Gary Speed will be on the big screen for fans to pay their respects to, one of our former great players as well. 12 years this week, quite incredible, isn't it? 12 years this week since the really sad passing of Gary Speed. He did so much on and off the pitch really here at Leeds United, and loved by fans and players like him. You played with him towards the back end of your career.
Yeah, I was with Gary at Newcastle United under Sir Bobby Robson. I was there with Lee Bowyer and Jonathan Woodgate. And Gary Speed became, I had 6 months with this gentleman. I got to meet him, and when you met Gary, you understood why everybody spoke so fondly of him. His performance on the pitch, he was up there with the best in the Premier League. But as a character off the field, he was just a true gent. I learnt a lot of him because I moved to Bolton Wanderers with him at the same time with Sam Allardyce, and we lived together for 3 months in a hotel in Bolton. I still find it very hard to know that Gary is not around anymore, because we had a great bond together, and I think what he taught me as well to get back from the professional side of it was to get back into the game was his professional approach to football. I learned so much off Gary. He had me doing yoga sessions, he got us looking after me diet, which obviously I don't do anymore, and
we won't ask you to do any yoga in the studio.
Not anymore. But just a great man, and like you say, when I heard the news along with Brinlow, who was obviously who was very close with Gary, I couldn't work it out, and like you say, so sad. But obviously with men's health and people's health, mental health, it's never easy.
Yeah, Gary Speed, who will of course be remembered this evening as well, a real true great here at Leeds United. Right, we are counting down to kick-off then. Leeds United taking on Swansea City, 7:45 tonight, off the back of that draw against Rotherham, 1-1, when we seem to be pretty much in control of that game up until that moment just before half-time. Well, it's a quick turnaround, isn't it, from one game to the next in the Sky Bet Championship, and here's the thoughts of our head coach, Daniel Farker, about that game at Rotherham and how he's prepared the players for tonight's match.
I like them. So in general, they have changed a bit. Also, their approach, their style a bit under new manager, but not in a bad way, not at all. So I really like them, and you can still see their DNA, that they're good in their passing quality and in their possession. I think they've also put some intensity into their game and also work with counter attacks. So I think it's a team with different threats, and also also difficult to predict. So I think many quality players for this level, and we have to be respectful because yes, we want to return back to winning ways, and for that we need a really good performance against a strong championship side. Yes, he's a really good player, and we are aware, but you also have to say he was out of contract right now, so also out of team training. I don't expect him to play for 90 minutes, but we've spoken about this topic, and my players are aware that he's definitely also an option for this game. Yes. Well, I've mentioned in the beginning of the season, more or less in my first meeting, that one of our key topics is to make a fortress out of Elland Road, because it's our home ground. It should be our a bit like our living room, and yeah, it's the same at home. If someone wants to conquer your living room, you do everything in order to not allow this. You protect your living room. This is what we want to do. And if you want to be in a good position by the end of the season, you have to make sure that you win many points, especially also in the home games. And we are on a good path. Yes, in the beginning there were a few draws, but especially in the recent month, many good results, top class performances. But you always have to make sure that also the next performance and the next result is really good. And for that, sadly, it's not a guarantee that also the next home game is successful. But obviously, we want to extend this winning run, and also especially this unbeaten run with our amazing fans who always support us, also in the home games and the away games obviously as well. But in the home games, the atmosphere at Elland Road is second to none, and want hopefully also to have again a pretty special night under floodlights. It's normally a great atmosphere at Elland Road, and we're all looking forward to have this game.
Yeah, Daniel Farker with his thoughts ahead of tonight's match. It's Fortress Elland Road. It's living room Elland Road. We've got the couch. We've got the pitch in the background. It's a glorious place to be.
Well, it's normally mine and Emma's living room here, but you've come in and you've conquered it, and you are sitting here now tonight. So welcome.
Thought you might have put the kettle on, but anyway, we won't worry about that. But on a serious note, Daniel Farker talking about Elland Road. As we always say, the real legend will be in the West Stand there tonight. Eddie Gray always says, home is where you get the bulk of your points. Yeah. If you can create a fortress at home, start with a few draws. Now it's 5 wins in a row, looking to make it a 6th tonight.
Daniel Farker recognised that straight away, and I think he knows the importance of this crowd here. He knows what it's like, and I think you can see with the results and the performances why that is. And he always talks about his living room, his lounge, and all the rest of it. And I love that because he feels so at home here. And every challenge that has been put up against him here, we have found a way to produce a result, and that is massive, especially in this division, because you find that you've talked about Swansea. They've got a very good away record this season, at the start of the season, so they travel well, but where they are in the division, they haven't been able to make their place a fortress at home, and we have. So it's very, very interesting, and I just love hearing the man talk.
A few of the players going for the full gear there. I expected some gloves. Snoods are out. Skins. I mean, it is worth saying it's a really cold one out there tonight, this evening here at Elland Road. But the pitch is looking absolutely perfect.
The pitch is looking good. The underside heating is obviously on. We've had, there's been a bit of frost overnight. We've had a little bit of snowfall up in the northeast while I was driving down. So hopefully that stays away. But no wonder the lads have got the gloves and that on. But we are nice and warm in here.
Have you ever wear a snood?
The snoods, no, but do you know what it is? I don't think it was called. It probably was called a snood back then. But when we played in the European matches and we used to travel to Russia, I remember Darren Huckabee brought all these lovely new neck scarves, and we were like, "What are you wearing that for?" And I guarantee you, by the end of the trip, everybody had one. So he was just selling them left, right, and centre. Was Darren Huckabee
setting the trends even back then? There you go. The players tonight wrapping themselves up before kick-off at 7:45. It is, of course, Swansea, and you can't think of Swansea without thinking of a particularly special moment. Take your minds back to the 2019-2020 season. The last time, by the way, Leeds won 6 in a row at home was that season, on the way to promotion from the Sky Bet Championship, and it was that night at Swansea, wasn't it? That moment from Pablo, bit of Pablo magic to create a moment that we sort of knew at that point was the moment we were going to go. We had to wait a little bit for another result to go in our favour, but this was the moment, as Leeds fans knew, we were heading back to the Premier League.
Phillips goes across the penalty area to Luke Ayling. Now Luke Ayling can set off on a run here. Swansea have got to get those men back, and Leeds can try and exploit that. Click out wide, it goes to Helder Costa. There's space, and there's an overlapping run from Ayling, and Ayling gets the ball, and there are men in the box, and it comes for Pablo Hernandez, and Pablo Hernandez scores a goal for Leeds United. Oh, goal! Hernandez! Swansea 0, Leeds United 1.
What a wonderful, fantastic goal by Leeds United on the counter, when you just see that the Swansea team are fatigued, are tiring. This is the poignant moment that I've been speaking about, Bryn, how to tire the opposition mentally and physically. Takes one touch out of his feet. That's the difference between having clean connection and power with your shot and actually putting precision and finding where the space is. Just inside that bottom corner. What a wonderful strike. No one better. On his return to the Liberty Stadium, Pablo Hernandez.
Well, you'll heard the roar from behind us where the Leeds officials are gathered, and you will maybe have heard the roar from the commentary position as well. And now Hernandez looks up and he loses possession. No, he gets it back again, and then no, he's still going. Pablo Hernandez. Oh, this is incredible. Pablo Hernandez, he could go all the way. Alioski has into the edge of the penalty area, and then it's over. Oh, it's all over. Oh, what a win that is for Leeds United. Oh, you can look and you can see the Premier League now. It is so close. A huge success for Leeds, and who else would it be but that man, Pablo Hernandez. He came on and he scored the goal that takes Leeds so very close. What a day, what a game, what a win. Wow.
Oh, it was lovely.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, it is. There's so many things to digest in that. Firstly, that was a game in July. The no fans, all those kind of things. Also, who blows a whistle then we're about to score another one? You would have been fuming if you were in the box then and the referee had blown the whistle.
I would have been absolutely seething, but the result was there, so we were happy.
That goal by Pablo Hernandez, which will go down in Leeds United history and folklore forever, was such an important moment. He was such a good player. It's nice to see the hug at the end was him and Berra as well.
If there's anybody that you want that ball to fall to inside at that moment, it was the cool, calm, collective Hernandez. And what I also love is the commentary of Brinlow.
Yes.
And my ex-colleague Matt Jones, great midfielder. Like you say, the calm.
How hard is that finish? It's behind him.
It's behind him, and the thing is, in that moment when you know how vital it is, it's behind him. His touch, his actually body movement is going one way, away, and his touch to get it back in his path so he can take that shot. But not only that, he knew exactly where everybody was that was defending that goal, and he found that corner.
There's only one place it could go, wasn't there?
He's a class act.
Love it. I don't think Bryn's going to get that excited. I mean, we've played some good football this season, but I don't think we're going to get that excited quite this evening. But yeah, quite a moment. And Bryn Law on your commentary team alongside Tony DiRigo tonight when the match gets underway. Moments like that should be inspiring for this current team to think this is what we're trying to achieve. We want a moment again like that, whether it be April, May time, around that end of the season. That's the dream, that's the goal, that's what we're aiming for. Yeah, and there's a few players that are involved in this current squad that were there as part of that under Bielsa, so they know what it is all about and they know how to get the job done. They'll be spreading the message to everybody at this football club that have come here on loan and that have signed to say this is what it's about, and everybody wants to go in one direction. We all want to be part of the Premier League once again. And there's no more incentive than doing it and starting here tonight, because this, like I say, you're at home. There's nothing better than playing in front of floodlights at Elland Road. I mean, I'm looking at the screen. I know that none of it's behind us, but I still get this moment of excitement and joy just to think I've graced that football field in front of these fans. And if you can't get up for nights like this, then you might as well not be in the game. You know what it's like to score goals here. Other players doing that at the moment. Joel Pirro's got himself a good few goals already this season. He's going at a good rate. Former Swansea, scored over 40 for them over the last couple of seasons. Swansea's issue, of course, is replacing that. How do you go about replacing that with a team who's gone in and poached their best player? Difficult for them. Very difficult. Goals are the most cherished things in football. They come at a premium cost, and to replace them is almost, it's almost impossible to do so. We've reaped the benefits because what I've seen from Joel Pirro since he's come, he's a cool, calm finisher. He makes goals look easy, and that is not an easy thing to do, but he also plays his part in the assists. He understands when to make the runs forward past Rutter. He knows when to leave the space for Somerville to dance into. He's a very, very, I would say, smart footballer as well. So when you've got somebody like that can actually go roaming and have a bit of freedom to let Daniel Farke say, go and do what you do best, mate. I thought he's brought a different dimension to this team, and I'm not going to compare him to Pablo Hernandez, but he is that kind of player that you can have I call them luxury players, and he's one of them. We'll take a luxury player. We'll have one of those. Just very quickly, Daniel Farke will be giving his last instructions to the players before they're going out. Rotherham, he described that we were very much on top in that game, really. Didn't use the words as such, but whether it was a slightly too casual, didn't go and kill that game, which is what you've got to do against teams when you're on top. We want to see Leeds go out and do what they did against Huddersfield. It's never as easy as that, but if you are on top, to go and get those goals if you can. No, I'm going to use the C's here. Complacency, we've got to be saying there's none of that. We cannot be complacent. We've got to be clinical. That game against Rotherham, if we'd have been clinical in the first 30 minutes, the game is done and dusted. And just keep the concentration levels for the full 90 minutes, 90 plus. And I think one man that does in this football club that I absolutely love is Meslier, the goalkeeper. He has been sometimes unseen the whole match. But when he concentrates and he makes that one vital save, he did one against Leicester, he's done one against West Brom, I think he made one against Sheffield Wednesday as well. Them one saves that keep you in games are absolutely vital. So there you go, the 3 C's from me. Yeah, and even that game against Plymouth here as well, we're 2-0 up at that point, but they get a goal back and suddenly it can be a bit nervy. It's just about taking those opportunities when we can. Match prediction tonight, what are you saying then? How's this one going to go? Are Leeds going to make it 6 wins in a row at home? Swansea are no mugs. Yes, we are going to make it 6 wins at home. I think we will win this one. I don't think it's going to be one of them nights where the goals are going to be flying in left, right and centre. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. Swansea on the road
have done well. They're no mugs. Grimes, captain of Swansea, ex-Leeds United player, and the boy Yates up front. He's got 5 goals this season. So if the lads can contain him and keep it, I am going to go for a 1-0 victory or a 2-1 victory. It's going to be very close.
You just can't pick 2. That's outrageous. All right, that's a match prediction.
We will win.
Will win. Is that
by 1 goal?
By 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, one job. Do a match score.
Emma lets us have 2 or 3 options.
We've talked about some former Swansea players at Leeds. We talked about Joel Pirro. We mentioned Pablo, of course. Here's the thoughts of another one. Dan James ahead of tonight's match.
Well, Dan, Swansea City, a club you know plenty about. Looking forward to the game this evening?
Yes, definitely. A club that I owe massive credit to. One that gave them a debut, and I wouldn't be here today without them. It's an important game today. I think after the other day, I think we were a little bit disappointed after the game, but it's a big game tonight. They've picked up good form recently as well, so I'm sure it'll be a good game. But
you've been good here as well, though, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been excellent this season. I think it's always important to be good at home. We've got to continue that tonight. I'm sure the crowd will be with us as well.
Yeah, the crowd is. It's a proper cold night, isn't it, tonight? Proper winter's football night, perfect conditions and all the rest of it. The crowd can play their part presumably.
Yes, definitely, they always do. It's going to be a great atmosphere tonight. One that we're really looking forward to.
Welcome to Elland Road. We're almost ready for the latest game in the Championship campaign. It's a cold one here. It's so cold that on my right-hand side currently, Tony DeRigo is affixing heat pads to the underside of his socks. That is absolutely what is happening here live at the moment. Tony taking no chances with the weather. It's going to drop considerably below freezing, but we're hoping that Leeds United's performance is going to bring a little warmth after the slight setback in terms of the result at Rotherham last Friday. A disappointing draw for sure. Leeds will very much be hoping to get back on track with another home fixture here this evening. Unbeaten thus far this season at Elland Road, coming up against Swansea side in their lower half of the table. So there'll be expectation when the two teams emerge from the tunnel in the next few seconds here. Another big crowd has gathered inside the stadium, and as the sound of marching on together booms out around the ground, we await the first appearance of the two teams down below, led out by the match official Sam Allison and Pascal Straub, who is back in the position of Leeds United skipper this evening as Straub starts and Liam Cooper is on the bench. Swansea City will be in their change colours because of course they're another side that plays all in white. The two teams take their positions either side of the halfway line here. Wherever you're watching the game this evening, whatever time of day it is indeed for you, morning, afternoon or night, great to have you along for Championship action. And Leeds United looking to put another 3 points on the board, hopefully at the end of this evening's game. There's all sorts of things going on to my right-hand side, the like of which I have never seen previously. The hat was on, now the hat's off. Maybe the heat pads on the feet have got so intense that he's had to take his hat off. I don't know. Anyway, Tony DeRigo alongside me is now